So, there was a story about an organization which offered a bounty of $5,000 for each wolf that could be captured alive. They wanted to move them to a different part of the city. It turned Sam and Jed into fortune hunters. Day and night, they scoured the mountains and the forests looking for their valuable prey. Exhausted one night, they fell asleep on the ground, dreaming of their possible fortune. Suddenly, Sam awoke to discover that he and Jed were surrounded by at least 50 angry and hungry wolves with flaming eyes and bared teeth. Sam nudged his companion and said, "Jed, wake up, we're rich." During the Great Depression in the 1930s, many wealthy people lost everything. And many gave personal testimony which said they had not begun to discover what life was all about until their fortunes had been wiped out. Why must the greedy wait until disaster strikes and the wolves are at the door to wake up to the truth of Henry David Thoreau's observation that money is not required to buy one necessity for the soul? It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor, wrote an ancient philosopher. The covetous man is ever in want, wrote another. Who is more satisfied? The man with 10 children or the man with $10 million, asked the professor. The man with 10 children, a student answered. Why? asked the professor. And from the rear of the room, a student called out, because the man with 10 children doesn't want any more. One of our troubles could be that we confuse wants and needs. How many times have we said, I need a new car, or I need new clothes, or I need a new house, or I need this or that, and when the needs weren't actual needs, but wants. The point is, we can legitimately want all those things, but they aren't needs that address any of life's fundamental issues. Our real needs consist of such as the need to forgive, the need to be of service to others, the need to embrace an attitude and approach to life that is in harmony with God's will. Set your hearts on His kingdom first and on His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well, said Jesus, quoted in Matthew 6:33. The man who stores up treasure for himself in place of making himself rich in the sight of God is a fool, Jesus says to his disciples. And then he told a parable about a wealthy farmer whose harvest had been so plentiful that there wasn't enough room in his barn to store the grain. What am I going to do? I don't have enough room for my crops, the rich man complained. I will pull down my barn and I'll build bigger ones and store all my grain and all of my goods with them, and I will say to my soul, you've got plenty of goods laid by for many years. Eat, drink, and have a good time. But God said to him, fool, this very night the demand will be made for your soul, and this hoard of yours, whose will it be then? I remember the cartoon about the man standing in front of his overfull garage, speaking to his son, saying, someday this will all be yours. Some of us have garages like that. A man's life is not made secure by what he owns, said Jesus. We spend a goodly portion of our lives struggling to achieve some measure of security against life's ordinary and extraordinary risks, doing everything possible to save our life in this sense. We build a nest egg to secure our retirement. We follow fashion. We buy insurance to secure ourselves against financial risk of accidents or sickness or calamities. We get medical checkups, and we go to the dentist twice a year. We check our brakes, we fasten our seatbelts, we put our money in the bank, and we double lock our doors. We take our vitamins, and we do our exercises. But try as we may, no evading the reality that to be alive is to face risks. We've been reminded of that again this week. Troubles will come. As Jesus followers, we look beyond ourselves for the meaning and purpose of life. The discovery of our true significance and worthiness lies beyond our effort to secure ourselves against the risks of life. To bear the burden, to accept the risks, to reject the passing comfort of false security, to live as we were meant to live by God, to lose ourselves in this sense, we follow Jesus who carried his own cross. We follow Jesus who teaches us that our lives are meaningful, that we are significant in God's sight. You know, a little girl accompanied her mother to a country general store. After her mother had made a large purchase, the proprietor invited the little girl to help herself to a handful of candy. She held back. "What's wrong? Don't you like candy?" the storekeeper asked. The child said, "Yes, I like candy." Whereupon the storekeeper put his hand into the candy jar and dropped a very generous portion into the little girl's cupped hands. Later, Mom asked the little girl why she had not taken the candy when it was first offered. The little girl explained, "Because his hand is bigger than mine." When it comes to fulfilling our every want, to fulfilling our genuine need to grow into the compassionate, forgiving, generous people we have been created to be, God is always ready, always willing and able to demonstrate that God's is the biggest hand of all. And he's got the whole world in his hands. Let us come to his table. Thanks be to God.